Holland as well as Shane Crawford will go a long way in making this a tight tussle tonight.
That leadership was very evident, wasn't it? Crawford and Holland against the Bulldogs. They were down, not quite out in the third quarter, but they were able to come back strong.
Well, I think Nick Holland took a major step last week. He turned on them.
But I think it'll actually favour Hawthorn. I think the rain is coming, it's going, but we'll get to the game and see how they handle the conditions.
Thank you for that. Peter McKenna is in the stands tonight, so we'll be talking to him as well. Chick gets the first kick. Hawks kicking into the breeze tonight. And Dixon's got a free kick, about 80 metres from goal.
Rain belting down also. What do you think, Platts? Is it an advantage for the Hawks?
Oh, it could be, Jared. It's going to be very interesting because Port do start well in these last 3 weeks as well.
Dixon punches it into the breeze, gets it almost towards the goal square. Mead tried to belt it away, half it over the top of it. Dickey with that new haircut, and they're quickly onto him, and it'll be a ball up about 40 metres out from Hawthorn's goal. Have a look at Donald Dickey. You'd want to play a big game looking like that, wouldn't you?
It's not going to be hard to find in the ground.
So Salmon playing for the Hawks. So Farrell misses out along with Rock, Danilchenko and Barker. They're the 4 that missed out from their squad tonight. Free kick picked out and going to the Hawks.
And importantly, Nick Holland has started deep in the forward line as full forward.
Short kick by Treleaven, cut off by Wilson. Holland kicked 5 goals against Port Adelaide the last time they played. He played on Paxman, but tonight Mead, who's got a good record on him, goes back to full back on him. Wilson, Norwich rising star, a couple of seasons ago. Had a slow start to this year with a groin problem. Kingsley, the best and fairest of the club last year, has got it at half-back and goes short. And this has been Port style. They haven't wasted it. Daniels.
Stephen Daniels at left half-back for Port Adelaide. Important that maybe the Hawks could put a score on the board into the breeze. You saw the kick that came in from Dixon. It held up dramatically. So a certain breeze advantage with Port Adelaide in this first quarter.
And Port Adelaide going very short up and full forward. In their full forward line, they've got Burgoyne, Eagleton and Shea Cockatoo Collins. So they expect the ball to come in low and come in quickly.
Well, the kick into the middle has been missed there by Daniels, gathered by Wanganeen. He quickly throws it onto his boot, kicks it forward. Salmon dispossessed by Cockatoo Collins. All Essendon players at one stage, Wanganeen, Salmon and Cockatoo Collins. Hawks across half-back, try to clear the ball into the middle. Great effort by Wanganeen. It's very hard to judge the football in the breeze and control the slippery football. Bit of a dust-up there between Nick Holland and his immediate opponent. Wanganeen ignores all that and gets the ball wide to Francis.
Crawford looks like he's got the job on Eagleton too. Crawford playing basically in the full-back zone. Wanganeen again, third possession. He runs the full distance and then hammers the goal. And getting back there and belting it through at the end, I think was Crawford for a behind.
Good make there by Gavin. Just a bit of a juggle there. Kept his eyes on the ball. A good captain's moment.
Bruce Abernethy, the interchange for Port.
Yes, Bruce, Barnaby French, Darryl Paul's back for his first game. Brendan Lade, Mark Howard, and incredibly Braden Lyle and Jared Schofield, who would you imagine these conditions are perfect for.
That is interesting. Wilson.
And Bruce.
Out of play, tip of the Hawthorn interchange.
Bruce, we got Chris Hobbs, Chris Barlow, Adrian Cox, Thompson, Brad Lloyd and Colliger.
So all their youngsters really on the interchange there for the Hawks.
Port Adelaide have readjusted their defence. They've got Paxman going down to full back to pick up Holland, and Robbins at centre half forward, and Mead's going with him. So Mead back in the position that he's made his own at Port Adelaide.
Off the side of Treleaven's boot in these very difficult conditions, out of bounds on the full. So it's a Fabian Francis kick in.
Well, Francis playing across half-back by the look of it. Gee, Wanganeen's been prominent early. He's going to be forced to bounce, and good shepherd provided by one of his teammates there. The kick in towards left half forward. Cockatoo Collins, the race is on here, and the ball just trundling awkwardly for eventually Nick Stevens to take it over in front of Tony Woods for a boundary throw in just forward of centre wing favouring Port Adelaide.
And good pace shown there by Luke McCabe. He's a very talented player, plays in midfield, but he has been playing as a defender in the back pocket in this Ansett Cup, and he's on Cockatoo Collins.
Salmon prepared to bash it forward and over for another throw in. Port Adelaide have scored just a behind. Hawthorn have had the ball up across their half forward line on a couple of occasions, yet to score very early in the 1999 Ansett Cup Grand Final. Struggle for possession. Woods was good in underneath there. Chalmers over the top, but the umpire decides that he will ball it up. Right near the players' interchange area, Tony Woods in screen. Chalmers tries to get rid of Salmon. Ball comes to ground. Franco overruns it. Treleaven, Salmon, little tap on. Not too bad in the finish. Robrin got his hands to it, a little bit suspect. The moving on of that football. Polton for Port Adelaide. Clears, and clears rather ordinarily over on the full. Free kick to the Hawks.
That's where they're going to be really careful at this stage of the game. They can use a short pass, but if they don't get it away from the short pass, Hawthorn are going to turn it over and get it down to the forward line.
Vandenberg, Wanganeen, who's started brilliantly. Stevens, good give. It was clever to Kingsley. Kingsley at centre wing. Keeps it down low. It's going to be very hard to take high marks this evening. Graham is playing at centre half back, gets it from Salmon. Kicks the ball back to centre wing. Belted away by Daniels. Not very far. Taken by Leckis. Leckis gets it inside 50. Bouncing ball. Well done by Mead. Controlled it. The handball under pressure. Wilson goes to ground under pressure. Little toe poke away from Holland. Polton gets in there. Holland gets a second go at it. Spins, weaves and ridden into the ground and taken over the line. Good defensive play by Paxman. A boundary throw in about 30 metres from Hawthorn's goal.
And the Hawks really trying to close the game up. They're not the only ones tackling here. We see a pretty good one from Port Adelaide, but already Port Adelaide's want to use the short pass and high possession game is costing them at the moment.
Gee, a little kick there by Daniel Chick to the advantage of the Hawks, but taken away in the finish by Franco. He kicks it out wide. This is Graham mopping it up. Little left foot kick into the pocket. Too far for Leckis. And at number 10 for Port Adelaide, Josh Franco.
And Robbo, it's interesting to watch this Hawthorn forward line when Holland comes deep into full forward. Obviously, Mark Williams thinks that Paxman is a better player at fullback and Mead a much better player at centre-back, because he does leave Mead at centre-back where he's taken them all on over the past 12 months and beaten them all.
Peter McKenna there, who's working the grandstands again tonight.
Graham slung off the footy. The ball spills Franco. Dickey for Port Adelaide across his left shoulder, not bad. But the only player back there was Salmon. Experienced campaigner, many games now, many finals. And he's marked safely. Gets it forward. Graham. Another possession to Graham. Left foot kick in towards the half forward area. Robrin struggling for Hawthorn. Chance for Dixon. Nearly taken by Daniels. It was a little high, but Dixon doesn't mess around, moves it on quickly, comes back to the Hawks. They kick it forward. Holland, he's got it right in front of goal. And this is what I was talking about. An important early score for Hawthorn will give them tremendous confidence. On the other hand, Port Adelaide going with the breeze at this stage have just managed to behind.
But I think you can take this goal, what should be a goal, way back to the pressure that was placed on Port Adelaide to make them kick the ball long and blindly. Paul Salmon sitting kick behind the play, mops up and turns the ball in his favour.
Just has to convert. Not many chances at that end of the ground, you wouldn't think. A goal to Holland.
Just see them with Nick Holland. I think that's where it all started from as well. Great mark, and Nick will be very, very important to the side tonight. If he can kick his 3 or 4 goals tonight, the Hawkers have got a great chance.
Strong mark by one of their stars. So Holland gets the opening goal in what should be a low-scoring contest. Vandenberg to half forward. Dixon and Polton. Polton quickly away to centre wing. Well done by Feagert. Quick handball. Put Kingsley under pressure. Was it a throw? Back to Feagert. Feagert's got some space. Goes towards centre half forward. Wants Eagleton. Bounces off Salmon. Dickey couldn't control it. It was a hard footy. Crawford, who has got the job on Eagleton. To Graham, whose birthday today. He's 26 years of age. Back to Hassel. Lateral handball. Tony Woods. A little bit blonder tonight. To Graham again. Graham getting plenty of it from centre half back. Kicks the ball to about 70 metres. Very good take by Franco. To Polton. Controlled it. Got it round the body. And found Kingsley at half back. Again on short. Wants Treadray. Bouncing ball. Hard to control. Out of play. Centre wing.
Yeah, Bruce, the chipping game for both sides won't work tonight. With this ball's getting heavier, and obviously with the conditions down here, they need to get one quick handball and one long kick.
What's the breeze worth, do you think?
I think it's about 2 or 3 goals going towards Port's favour.
Well, Gavin Wanganeen didn't hesitate when he won the toss. He very quickly indicated that he would go to the main scoreboard end in the first term. We have another look at this free kick. Johnny Hassel just illegally out of that action against Franco. So Hassel to take the free kick for Hawthorn right on centre wing. Gets reasonable distance into the breeze. The ball at half forward. Chance for Dixon. He's in underneath there. His opposition is Darren Mead. And the umpire's indicating now that it's Mead that didn't move it on. So Dixon to take the free kick. Quickly onto the left foot, in towards half forward. Getting back and taking a good mark as Daniels. Aaron Lord a little late on the scene. Stephen Daniels, promising player for Port Adelaide, just a youngster. He's got the ball between full-back and centre-half-back. We do see Mead get in front of Dixon here, and this was the incident where the umpire decided that Mead didn't move it on. The free kick was given to Ben Dixon. Franco with the football, little left foot kick, not really to the advantage there. Crowed quickly onto his boot to half forward, high flyer at the back. Chance here now again for Hawthorn. It's Dixon back onto his right. He's doing a good job, moving and providing a target. Chick overruns the football. Wanganeen and Dickey in there, and the ball will be thrown in the air just inside the forward 50 for Hawthorn.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if Port Adelaide are one-dimensional, because right now you would think that the way they have been winning games isn't going to be successful tonight. Chipping the ball around, expecting a high skill game to get you through the goals.
Holland gets over Mead. Dickey under pressure. Holland off the ground. Ball ricochets off. A couple of players are kicking in danger. Free kick to Port Adelaide. To Darren Mead. Elevated to a vice-captaincy this year. He was an assistant last year.
It's one of the things tonight. It's just it's going to be really slippery there tonight. So main thing, keep the ball going forward.
Short to Daniels.
We can judge so far, be very pleased, John, the way that his teammates, that his charges are actually matching up. And you can just see there on the wider screen that the Hawks are so conscientious in manning up when Port Adelaide have got the ball in defence.
Ken's very good on accountability, and tonight will be right on it tonight.
Graham got it from Hassel. Half a good stretch in the front spot. Went early against Francis and held on. Quickly gives it off. High ball by Leckis to fall forward. Front spot Mead and also Daniels. Now a chance for Robin. Mead's got to get rid of it. He's in trouble. Oh, he was lucky.
Port Adelaide been renowned for their good starts in the Ansett Cup so far this year. There just seems to be a lack of spark out there, and they're concentrating a great deal on their set plays, which I think they're going to have to readjust in these conditions.
That's Bruce Abernethy on the boundary line. Kingsley's handball, it missed. Franco's had it a few times. Wanganeen's had it plenty. Takes his time, kicks to the space, tried to draw it down the field. He's so good at that, Wanganeen. 5 kicks and 1 handball to the captain, who played in 2 night premierships, 2 Ansett Cup premierships with Hawthorn, with Essendon, I should say, 93, and also in 94.
So I think the umpire a fairly courageous decision, I think, Robbo, if it had been a football park, not to play that one.
Oh, well, I think that's always been a conjectural part of our game, Jared, hasn't it?
The umpires have been told to be far more stricter on this, and to me, Robbo, he's dragged the ball in there and he's got his own man blocking in. That's a free kick.
So Franco moves it forward. Jonathan Hay, his immediate opponent, Warren Treadray. Umpire gives the all clear for a boundary throw-in. Interestingly, we've had a lot of discussion about the bounce of the ball at the start of the game. I watched after Nick Holland kicked the goal, the central umpire, we're looking here at the weather conditions, expected minimum 13 at presently 17. The umpire did throw it in the air at the centre bounce after that Nick Holland goal. We've got a player leaving the ground through the blood rule. Might be as a Daniels by the look of it. So taking his time, obviously giving his replacement plenty of time to work it all out as to where he'll go and who his opponent will be.
And I think it also gives the match committee also time to reset their defence.
Harwood's come on, Mark Harwood, the 20-year-old. So Daniels to be patched up there, and again it'll be a ball up.
So I was just going to ask the Rat, Johnny Platten, where his allegiance is tonight, the
just
Hawks or South Australia?
Oh, thank